Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 6, 7.6, operations on arrays using subscripts. So far I have explained the characteristics of an array, constructing an array, initializing an array, and other allied points. After that we learn how to perform operations on an array. For this purpose I am using, for the example sake, I am using array initializers because it's simple definition. If you use other definition using new also, there is no problem. For the sake of simplicity, I am using this example. That's why you don't feel that all these operations are applicable for the array initializers. It is applicable to other declaration also. Now you see byte is, and I initialize with the 5 values like this. Now always whenever you create an array, form a mental picture. This is like this: is, bytes, is, and initialize, and these are the indexes. How it is 0 base index, and these are called subscripts. What we are giving: age 0, age 1, age 2, age 3, age 4. First element is accessed using the expression age 0. Actually it is for the sake of simplicity it is pronounced as age sub 0. First, for representing first element, age sub 0, age sub 1, age sub 2, age sub 3, age sub 4, like that you can pronounce. Okay, now by using this expression we are able to retrieve this value by using a sub 1. We can retrieve the value 12, that already explained to you. Now one more very important point you have to recollect, that is the size of an array is a constant. Once you define the size directly or indirectly, suppose in this case you are not directly mentioning anything, but indirectly, what is the size of A's array? 5, that is fixed. You cannot change its value, you cannot decrease it or you cannot increase that. So once size is defined directly or indirectly, it is immutable, that point you remember. But the elements are not immutable. If you want to know, here 5 elements are there. 5 elements, if you want to one or more elements, we have to change, replace with some other values, you can do that, it is allowed. That difference only I explained. As far as array is concerned, size is immutable but elements are not immutable. In case of string, the size is immutable and the contents are also immutable. You cannot change its size as well as you cannot change its contents. That point you remember. Here if you want to change the values of the elements, then you can change. How you are dealing with variables in the same manner, with the same amount of freedom, you can uh, take the individual elements and make operations. Now you see simple examples I have given: age 2, age 2 is 12. Now what I want to do, I want to make it 15. Then what can I do? I can directly assign 15, or otherwise age 1 plus 3, age sorry, I want to make it 13. So age 1 is 10 plus 3, then it becomes 13. Now next one you see, age 3 is equal to age 2 plus age 3. Age 2 means third element, age 3 means fourth element. 14 plus 15, 19. 19 minus age 1, 10. So 9. So this is age 3 means 15 will become 9. Like that, here age 4 means 18. How we are modifying age 1 plus age 3? Age 1 is 10, age 3 is 15. Now we changed here 9. Now what happens? 10 plus uh, 9, 19 minus 2, then it becomes 17. Just for example's sake, I am showing all this. So whatever element, value of the element you want to change, any type of operations you can perform like this and all that. So that one you remember is a very important point. How you are dealing with variables, you can deal with the elements of an array with the same amount of freedom. Okay, this one you have to remember. Thereafter, one more important point I have to explain, that is very important. Actually, you must remember this. Object reference is different, object is different. Object, real object is like kite, paper part of the kite, and object reference is like a string. This example always incorporate in brain, then there will be no confusion in understanding several concepts. Now here one example I am giving. Integer type array A. In the name of A, one array I am declaring, and this is array initializer I am using 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 elements are there. I initialized with 5 elements. Then as a result of that, one, what is created? This is created. Now A array and 5 elements are there, and these are the subscripts A0, A1, A0, A1, A2, A3, A4. Its type is int. This already explained to you. Next one, this is the second one. Now what you declare? Int array B means what you are declaring? You are declaring just array reference in the name of B. This is array reference. This is like a string. You don't have kite, only string. This is string and kite. Okay. Now this third one, B is equal to A you are making. B is equal to A you are making. That means A's value you are assigning to B. As a result of that, this happens. No new object is created. This string is also tight already. A string is connected to this array. Now that is being assigned to B. As a result of that, both strings, both the reference variable A and B are referring single array. That you must remember. And one more point also you should remember, an object, a single object may be referred by n number of references. There may be one kite. If you want, you can tie number of strings. So because of this statement, B is equal to A, no new array is created. So B is also referring to the same array. This you have to understand. So after understanding this concept, let us see a program on this. With that, you can crystallize your knowledge on this point. They are very important and all that. So once you understand this clearly and own it, then it helps you a lot in understanding advanced concepts. Now, the same example, whatever I have explained, I show it in this program. With this, you can get a confirmation. And one thing, seeing is believing. Whatever concept you learn theoretically, it should be applied in the program. Then only automatically your brain realizes that. Once your brain is convinced with any concept, it can understand it as a fact. And that only every time you use a word, owning. So then only you can own the concept. So theoretically I explained this concept. Now I am showing it in the program. Now you see, first I have declared an array, A array of int type, and I initialized with 5 values 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Here you see the same thing, number 1. This is A array, and the subscripts you see A sub 0 to A sub 4. Okay. Thereafter, I declared array reference B. I didn't initialize that. Just is a reference variable. So B reference variable, and its type is int array. So it is like a string of a kite. Okay. Then that is there. Now what I am doing, I am writing the elements of a array. For that purpose for loop I have taken, and you see in that the first elements subscript is 0, C is equal to 0, and size we need not count and all that. For that purpose what we do, array name dot length. So C is less than, don't use equal to, less than A dot length semicolon C plus plus. Thereafter SOP, actually for the sake of simplicity I write that system dot out dot println. So I am writing SOP A array, I am writing. As a result of that 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 values are written. Now after that what I am doing, B is equal to A. Actually here B is equal to A. That means whatever value is there in A is assigned to B. Actually A is referring to certain array. You understand that, don't pronounce it. A is referring to one array. That means it is having an address. That address is being assigned to B. That you have to understand. A reference is assigned means you may not have clarity. That's why I am telling you. Now A is referring to this array. Array means its array's address is stored in A. That what we are calling reference. That address is being assigned to B as a result of this assignment statement. As a result of that, what happens? Both the reference variables are referring to one array. That means A string and B string both are tied to single kite. That you have to understand. Then you see now we are writing B array using SOP statement. As a result of that, again 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So simply assigning references, no new array is created. That point you have to understand by this. Actually both are referring single array. And one more point you have to understand, for a single object we can create n number of references. There is no limitation on that. So for this array we are creating two references. One first one's name is A, second one's name is B. That you have to understand. And one more thing, if you want to make an experiment, then you see that every time you should not limit to the code whatever I have given. If you have inquisitiveness, you can do one thing. Instead of less than or equal to, you put after completion of this. What is happening, you see? Then one exception is thrown. What is that? You can understand. Array index out of bound exception. That is thrown. That you can practically see. Of course, there is a lot of time in the forthcoming chapters in exception handling only. You study that. In the meantime, you identify and keep it in the library. Whenever time comes and all that, you retrieve it and get the 100% clarity over that. In that manner only, you can learn Java. Actually, the intricacy in learning Java is when you are dealing with one concept, it is linked with the future concepts. So which one we have to learn is the biggest question. That's why this is the way. whatever the present current elements we learn. Any future elements are relevant and all that. What should we do? We have to learn it as a thumb rule and postpone it. And whenever one day comes for that, then you learn it thoroughly. Then one great advantage is there. Whenever you enter into that chapter, then you can understand why those concepts are created. Now you are able to understand here array index out of bound exception is thrown. You do not know the complete details of that. Those details, definitely you develop one inquisitiveness. What is that? Then once you enter into the exception handling mechanism, then you can understand that clearly. In that manner, a different strategy. Learning C is different. The procedure of learning C is different. Learning Java is totally different. Here, complete integrity is required. Each concept is like a link in the chain. That much nexus, connectivity is there among all the concepts. One concept you miss and all that, one chain becomes two chains. That point always you remember and be alert.